So I just got back from a family trip to Paris, had an absolutely brilliant time, and of course, I bought a fountain pen. However, surprisingly, even to me, it's not from the brand that I thought it would be from. Something else entirely, and it's actually a really interesting story how I got this pen. It might be the bargain of the century. I'll tell you in a second. I'm also going to compare this pen with an older version just to see if anything has changed. And I'm going to ink it up and write with it and see how it is. So join me today, won't you, as I take a look at my brand new Montblanc 149 in fine that I picked up in Paris. So I won't get too much into the details of the family trip. There's actually a vlog on that that's coming out soon. So we were walking around Paris as one does, and we came across Laban Mar, which is a very historic department store. In fact, it's one of the oldest department stores in the world. And it's an historic building. I didn't know how much of that original charm was left. So I just decided to take a peek in there and see if it was as impressive as La Galerie Lafayette. And it isn't quite, but it's a very nice, kind of mid-sized department store. Okay, so I make my way through it, get to the top, and I was shocked to see that they had one of the best collections of fountain pens I have ever seen in one place, and that includes some of the pen shops that I've been to. But even more interesting is that it was integrated in with other sort of things that you might like if you're into fountain pens. So there was stationery there were bags, there were watercolors, there were art supplies, all sorts of really interesting, charming things in that sort of you know, that aesthetic, that department store aesthetic, but nevertheless, glass cases and all. It was still very nice to see brands like Namiki and Pilot and Lamy and so many others. But what really shocked me, two really shocking things. One was that they had a full selection of Montblanc fountain pens, nearly as much as the store on the Champs-Élysées. But this is the big thing. We happen to be there during the time of year when they have sales. As it was told to me, evidently in France there's sales twice a year, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I believe by law there's a sale at Christmas and a sale around early July, late June, and that's when we were there. And things were 30% off. Now, I never imagined in a million years that a Montblanc fountain pen would be 30% off, let alone the Montblanc 149. But there it was with a yellow sticker on it, and I just couldn't resist. So it was around 990 euro, 30% off, knocked it down. And then there's a 12% discount because as an American, you get a rebate for your VAT tax. So all in, I was able to get this brand new Montblanc Meisterstück 149 in a fine nib, which I do not have, for $700. I couldn't resist it, and I didn't resist it. So let's take a look at it together. So I will spare you the details of the paper box and get right to the fabric pen holder, which is, you know, nice enough, and show you my new baby. Oh yes. And I know I need to take the sticker off. I just haven't yet. It's anxiety over that little residual gummy glue that's left when you take these off. I will get to that very soon. But here we have the gorgeous Montblanc 149, brand new. You might recall that I have a Montblanc in medium that my wife bought me, I'd say about a decade ago, and we're going to compare this to that just to see if there are any changes. Try to figure out what that might mean. I mean in weight, in dimension, that sort of thing. I'm not expecting anything, but it'll be interesting to see. What a stunner. Absolutely gorgeous fountain pen. Okay, since this isn't inked up yet, it's probably a perfect time to compare it with my 10-year-old Montblanc with a medium nib and just see if there's any difference in weight. We can tell them apart because I haven't taken the sticker off. So let me grab the scale and we'll see if they are the exact same weight. Now there is a couple things to say here. Just because their weight is different doesn't necessarily mean that one's better than the other. So we'll see how that goes. And also the older one may have a little bit of ink residue in it. Maybe that could add a little bit of weight. So I'm not sure how scientific this is. Nevertheless, I think it's an interesting exercise. I'm kind of excited to see how it shakes out. So let's dive right in. This is my medium, which you've seen on the channel many times. Sort of recently restored by me, which I regret. I used Poly Watch. I'll put a link in the description and it polishes it up beautifully, but I kind of miss that 10 years of patina, so think long and hard before polishing up your pens. I'm hoping that comes out on the video, but it's 31.86 grams. 31.86, which by the way is probably a Goldilocks pen. That's a really good weight. Perfect. This is empty too. I should show you that. See? Empty. Okay. It's kind of sad that that's empty. All right, here's the new one. See the fine? Oh, surprisingly, 31.67. So they're a fraction of a gram difference. That could actually be if there's any ink or water in there. Or you could say it's slightly lighter. You know, however you want to spin it, but that's the fact. 31.67. So interesting. Okay, let's do some quick measurements. Why not? We have the tools. We may as well use them. Okay, well, unsurprisingly, this is 147 millimeters long, which is what you would expect from a 149. And similarly, this one is as well. Trying to find sort of the same spot, so I'm going to do it right below the threads. I can feel the threads. 13.4. Really hoping that something's off. That would be so fun. The new one. No, 13.4. Got to get it right in the right spot. And the last kind of silly test I'll do is I'll just try the cap of the old one on the new one. That fits perfectly. So I guess they haven't made too many changes. Now I want to make sure I get this correct and put the original one back. Okay, they seem to be identical. Well, that was a fun exercise. But what will be more fun is to ink this pen and see how it writes, and especially because I'm going to use Midnight Blue. And the reason is that I was feeling a bit black in this pen, a bit like black was its color. And that's what it wanted to express. If I can anthropomorphize the pen. Sometimes you just feel in different colors. But the thing is, I really enjoy sort of black ink alternatives rather than flat black often, because black doesn't always have a lot of personality. That's why something like Diamine Vivaldi, which is sort of this blacky eggplant color, is really good. I wish I could get my hands on more of that. But Midnight Blue is one of my favorites. It's bluish with hints of black. It's like writing with shadows. It has that kind of romance to it. So I'm pretty excited. And I'm ready to fill up this spectacular new Montblanc. Okay, let's fill up this gorgeous new fountain pen. It's always fun to fill it up. To be honest, I have a little bit of anxiety about filling it up, and that's part of the reason why I'm filming it. I just thought it would sort of kind of push me to do it. One of the things that just bothers me is I obsess, is this the right ink for it? I was thinking, wow, the Egyptian blue is really interesting. Or maybe I'd go with my beloved Eclat de Saphir, and I think it's my anxieties that pushes me all the time to Eclat de Saphir because I know I love it. And I won't get into that feeling where I'm like, oh, why did I put this ink in there? And then I'm squirting it back into the bottle, which I do sometimes, and cleaning it maybe if I have to, and then putting in another color. That does happen quite a bit. But this, I really do feel that Midnight Blue is the color for this, and it's fun for me to share this with all you guys. But I am feeling it. I just do. It's just a bit of anxiety with the new pen. Is it going to write? Is it a good one? No matter what the brand is, I think we all feel that a bit. Okay, this ink bottle is brimming, which is perfect for a fill. Full ink. Ooh, it's thirsty. I don't know if they picked it up on camera, but it was making Nosferatu slurping noises, which if you've seen that film, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm now putting it back in, and I'm going to do it again, just to get a really healthy fill. Okay, you thirsty little bugger. Okay. I do love the aesthetics of this. An inky nib, I really like. Okay, so I'm gonna move this. That's the kind of happy little accident I am trying to avoid. Okay, I have this chamois case, which is perfect to clean it up, because here's where I have made mistakes in the past. I don't know if you have. You really have to clean these thoroughly. And by these, I mean any pen. If you get a new pen and you don't clean it as thoroughly as you can, and I mean sometimes the ink that's trapped on the side of the nib, the around where the feed is, it will come off in your cap, and it only takes a little drop to spread, oh boy, just to spread so much, and to make your life extra miserable. I'm also not someone who needs a pristine, clean nib, but I certainly got one today. So I'm going to bask in this moment. Doesn't often happen. Okay, so let's see how she writes. I'm excited, a little nervous, as one gets with a new pen, especially a fine. I've never written with a Montblanc fine. Oh, very nice. One thing I was worried about, and it's also a little embarrassing sometimes on camera, is that your first stroke sometimes, if you clean your nib really well, will sort of have a false start because there's no ink, you've cleaned it all up. But that was not the case with this. This is a very flowy fine. This is fun. I'm getting a scribing noise, but it's more like a hint of a scribing noise. All right, there it is. So Montblanc is saying that they now tune their nibs in the same way that Ferrari tunes their exhaust to get a certain sound, a certain sort of brand feel and sound and sensory experience, if you will, which is interesting. I appreciate that kind of obsessiveness, and I hope it's consistent, but I hope they put the emphasis on good, flowing, well-writing nibs beyond what they sound like. Although sound is an interesting consideration, and I appreciate it. This is pretty nice. I'm getting some line variation, which is kind of neat on sort of minute differences in pressure. Which is very, very nice. You can almost leave me alone with it. I'm just having such a great time. Yeah, I guess my feeling, and I always love Meisterstücks. They feel good in my hand. I never feel pinchy. I feel sort of relaxed. I'm cradling this in my hand. I think there's a certain exhalation that's going on now. I think there's a certain catharsis I'm feeling now because I had a little bit of anxiety that maybe something would go wrong. Maybe the price was too good to be true. That maybe my $700 Meisterstück might not be as good as one I spent full price for, but all those anxieties are now assuaged. I guess I can relax and enjoy it and put it in my rotation that I have a really interesting pen from Paris that actually writes a little better in this notebook too, by the way. Look at that. So Montblanc notebooks are better with fine paper. The medium bleeds through, but look at the fine. Not bad. I should have written with this over there. I just didn't ink it up. But I wanted to make sure I got my VAT back. So I think that's understandable. But this is an absolutely interesting, well-balanced pen. Sort of an old friend in a different form. So I'm sure we're going to have a lot of different adventures together. So thank you very much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this little unboxing, inking up of the Montblanc Meisterstück, one of my favorite fountain pens of all time, an absolutely beautiful, brilliant writer, and it's really interesting and fine. Do you have it in fine? Let me know in the comments. And if you've reached this point in the video, please subscribe. More than anything, I would love to have you with me on this journey. So hit the little subscribe button. If you want to support the channel even more, membership is available as well. I'd love to have you behind the scenes to see what's going on back there, so thank you. I make new videos all the time. I have a live show as well, so I can promise you we will see each other again very, very soon, further up the road. So take care.